The prey system, probably one of the systems that I know the least about so far. I really haven't talked a lot about the prey system, and I feel like Blizzard hasn't talked that much about it. It's going to be tested now. It's being tested actually on alpha. This is the first time we're going to see what it really looks like. But here we go. Prey Explained, spicing up outdoor gameplay from So Breezy. Let's see what's going on in the prey system.
Hey, it's Sol with another video, and today we're going to talk about the upcoming Prey feature in Midnight. What is it? How does it work? And how much is Blizzard forcing me to do this? AKA, what do we get? This is one part preview, one part reaction to as-is content in the alpha, and a bunch of stuff is likely to change as we go. Please like this video, subscribe for more live coverage, and catch me where I'm live. Prey is an optional gameplay experience tailored mostly towards enhancing and spicing up outdoor content. The simple premise is this. You approach this guy to get talked into becoming bait for a target, but you're actually hunting them too.
So he's a master baiter. That's right.
You let yourself get ambushed a few times, you fight them off until you find their final location, and then deal the finishing blow for loot. In practice, this is a pretty simple event. It's an overlay of additional activities and hazards to, again, spice up outdoor gameplay a bit. I went through each step.
I don't want to say it, but you know what probably inspired this, right? The Maw. I mean, you guys remember the Maw with the longer you were there, like these additional mobs could come out. It was like the eye of the jailer mechanic, I think they called it. It was probably the brown eye of the jailer, if you think about it. But really, it was like this, the longer you spent in the Maw, the more you got tagged for these random mobs to come at you. And eventually it became so difficult that like elites would come your way and stuff. So I think that system walks so this system could run, maybe. So that's what this reminds me of right now. It's like you get this random, you get tagged, and this random mob could show up, and then you got to kill it.
Difficulty or be killed. In Eversong Woods, and I'm going to talk you through the experience with some commentary. I started with the normal difficulty hunt, which looks like it's accessible even before max level. I happened to choose targets only in Eversong Forest because of familiarity and to just kind of see what would happen. When a prey target is chosen, we're instructed to go to this target zone. Upon arriving, I noticed a few extra world quest-like activities designed to lure our prey targets out.
So you kind of bait him even more. So not only does the system tag you for this to happen, you start to do things to piss off the prey so it comes and gets you.
Now, I find this interesting because our prey target is said to ambush us while doing world quests and fighting rares, like doing our usual
regular stuff.
But there are also extra activities designed specifically to lure out the target.
Interesting.
This encourages certain kinds of player behavior. Like, let's say I want to knock out my prey targets for the week. And I don't know if that's really a thing, let's just pretend. With these extra objectives, I can hard focus on completing prey content quickly.
True.
Let's also say I'm leveling for the very first time and world quests aren't even unlocked.
Well, it gives it more certainty. Like, you're going to get this guy to come out and attack you. Whereas the way I thought of it before was it kind of just tags you. It's almost like tagging yourself for world PvP. It's like you're going to get attacked, but you don't know when. And it could be at any point if it does happen. That's not really what the prey system is then. It's more like it's like a quest. You sign up for it and you go do it, and eventually the end boss comes out, which is the prey guy. You just don't know exactly, but you can kind of push him to come out.
Not yet. Maybe that's a thing, or maybe
it's different than what I thought it would be
in the alpha that made that activate. I can't say 100% sure. Let's also think of the scenario. Well, maybe I've done all the world quests already for the week or for the next couple days, and I can't find any rares because there's too many people around. So cool, I can do these other activities instead. It ensures that prey isn't entirely this RNG-based activity where I'm always left like waiting and hoping for something to spawn. And these activities are pretty simple. You just arrive in an area and you fill up the bar. Click on a few crystals without getting caught. Maybe you take down an elite. And these are also dotted around and they don't show up on the map, just the mini-map if you're close. So you'll find yourself traveling around. In this normal mode, there are no affixes or anything, other than sometimes the prey target will sometimes ambush me, and, well, they're supposed to. Each time you encounter them and beat them down, they retreat and leave some goopy stuff that forwards our progress towards finding their hiding spot. And you want this current
goopy stuff, so you got to master bait the guy. Then when he comes out, you beat him off, and then he leaves goopy stuff behind. Is that right? Like that? Did I just completely explain the prey system? And I'm not making that's the way he explained it, right? I'm just rephrasing it, I
For
guess.
rewards later. After doing this a number of times, you're notified when the target is eventually found. You go there and you take them out for a big bag of loot, and in this case, it's adventure level gear.
Yeah, I'm going to be an
The vibe that
expert
I
at
get from
this.
normal prey hunts is, it's not very much. It's just kind of adding a little bit more to do for my outdoor routine, but I also focused on doing just the prey activities to lure the target out. So you could say this was like doing a special assignment from World Quest, it's just simpler. And by the way, there are still special assignments.
Oh,
Then I
okay.
tried hard mode, and once again I chose a target in Eversong Woods. This time I was introduced to these torments. I'm not quite sure if these change up. I won't
So
be
so there's different. Obviously, we already knew this. There's different difficulty levels of this, which should give you better loot the more difficult you make it.
surprised if they do, but here's what I saw. As I progress through the hunt, I'll start taking more damage. If I die, I lose some of my progress toward this hunt, and defeated enemies around the zone will drop a sanguine looking thing around them. It doesn't heal them, it just does damage to me.
Okay.
It's still appropriately traumatizing, so I need to avoid that. These affixes apply throughout the entire zone over the duration of the hunt. We can think of this as kind of a heroic world tier sort of thing, but it's not applied like a blunt instrument. It's not like, oh, everyone's got double the health. It just seems to enhance the zone experience a bit without splitting players into like this prey and not prey, kind of phase or layer.
Sure.
When I arrived at the zone,
I think that's good. It sounds like so it doesn't phase you out of the world that everyone else is in, which is good. I don't want to be phased out of the world. I think that's like depressing. It is like you're in a different zone. You're in the same zone, but you don't see anybody around. It just doesn't feel like an MMO anymore. So that's a good thing.
I noticed the extra tasks just refreshed. They were reskinned a bit differently, but I was still essentially doing the same things. Now, maybe this was an alpha thing. Maybe this is once again a way to let players knock out a bunch of prey targets in their desired zone or something. Fast forward to the prey targets, this time when the encounter started, an arena formed. So we're like suddenly in the
Oh.
WoW octagon. And this is probably what they mean by not being able to get help from others. And
Oh, damn, that's cool. There's like a bloody arena forming around him. Yeah, so nobody else can help him, and he's just stuck in here fighting this boss now.
these harder difficulties. So now
That's
it's a
cool.
single player encounter with a tougher enemy. Now, as you can see, I'm playing as a tank, so nothing's ever all that tough, but I can
Hey, it's got that's the new in-game UI bars. It looks pretty good.
tell you these targets can be stunned, silenced, and so on and so forth to make sure all classes have a fighting chance regardless of role. Also, I no longer had that stacking debuff I had when completing activities, which is kind of a nice favor, I guess. So when this one went down, I got some veteran gear. And then I went for nightmare mode because, hey, why not? I still chose Eversong Woods.
Right.
I
So
still had
Nightmare is the highest level difficulty of this feature.
the same kinds of tasks refreshed that I can do around the zone. Additional torments were added still. So now I have this stacking debuff every
Right,
minute.
Kygos?
It's not just based on my progress, it just keeps going. So there's kind of a clock until it's impossible for me to complete this prey thing. And then I'd have to, I guess, quit and start it up again.
Oh, it's timed. So this when you get to this level of difficulty, it's timed. Ooh, I don't know if I feel about that.
The whole death punishment and seeping gore trap, that was still there, and we're still not done. There's some new affixes. Every now and then a spirit will spawn and sort of run towards me. I can stun, I can, crowd control it, and otherwise I need to avoid it. Otherwise I take almost fatal damage. I happen to use a lay on hands to make sure I survived. And finally, I randomly get a debuff telling me to kill any nearby enemy within like a certain number of seconds, otherwise I'm going to take heavy damage over time.
Oh, wow.
So Nightmare difficulty felt a lot more frantic.
Yeah,
I'm a
it sounds
tank,
like
but I
it.
can't kill fast enough, so I'm keeping an eye on that damage over time whenever it's applied. I definitely don't want to touch that spirit ever again. I also don't want to take too long, and I'm taking on these ambushes from my target. At this stage, again, I'm a tank. I know it's easy mode, but it felt pretty fun. But just like in hard mode, the debuffs went away when encountering the prey target, and this time around it felt kind of unsatisfying. Like if that's the intent, I hope the target is tuned to be harder to match the threats that I was encountering just trying to get to this thing. Defeating this target scored me a piece of champion gear.
That's not
So what
bad.
do we get from doing prey? I already mentioned the gear. From the looks of it, we can complete one difficulty level per week. In the alpha, there's a counter with, I guess, the total
One difficulty level per week, or each difficulty level the same week? So maybe he's right. Maybe it's just one. So you pick and that's it. You're locked in for that week.
number of hunts I can do for the week or whatever's on the map. I can repeat the same difficulties in different zones, but I'll get lesser bags of goodies after this first time. I think the reason we'd be doing repeats at all is to obtain these remnants of anguish. These drop as we progress through hunts, and they're used to buy all sorts of cosmetics from the hub,
That is a badass looking mount. My God.
as well as a few enchanting recipes and a decor recipe for scribes. Many
Nice
of these are
transmog,
locked
too.
behind a rank system to progress through. I couldn't see it, but I think we get the gist of things. You just gotta do more hunts and get gear and currency and then buy cosmetics. And now for some additional commentary. Who is the target audience of Prey? Naturally, it's anyone who wants the rewards from the vendor, but that's more like a motivating factor.
Solo
The question
players.
is more like, what sorts of audience is Blizzard trying to satisfy?
Probably the delvers out there who, want to venture out from their cave every once in a while and actually do some open world content.
With Prey.
That's who I would
like,
assume.
Who is the gameplay trying to serve?
The
I'm thinking
Gregs.
it's mostly the outdoor content folk who want a little bit more than just delves to find additional challenges.
Yeah.
Folks who do progression and seek out greater challenges from like dungeons and raids and so on and
Achievement whores, maybe. There's definitely achievements attached to this.
so forth. They'll drop by for Prey, but it's not likely to be a part of the regular routine for very long, at least outside of the rewards. There's still information we don't know 100%, like how hard is Prey supposed to be compared to like a certain tier level of Delve, and how's this credited towards the Great Vault? It didn't show up in my testing. Seeing as how the Nightmare version drops one piece of champion gear, I'm thinking it might be around the tier 8 level of difficulty, give or take, which would credit towards hero gear in the vault.
Right.
I think for what it is though, Prey's pretty fun. Folks who do WoW commentary typically play at a higher skill and gear level than what Prey has to offer, so I have a feeling that we're going to see a good bit of discourse over how, oh, it's too easy, it's forgettable, or whatever. But I think it's a good addition to outdoor content specifically, where other players have been asking for more challenge, but want a careful balance to prevent world quests from being a wipe fest, right?
Right.
The final encounters might be tuned to be a bit too easy at the moment, and I think Prey should do
They probably are undertuned a bit, especially it looks like on that Nightmare difficulty, which Blizzard had stated like when they first came out with it, like this is supposed to be extremely difficult content. I'm wondering if they want it to be on the level maybe of a delve double question mark boss. Maybe not that hard, but maybe just below it. Because the way he described it was like the boss was easier than the trash. So that's probably undertuned right now.
bit of dancing with delves to build a sense of progression. Kind of sort of like how back in the day we would do some normal dungeons and then heroics and then raids. And those are my takes. Please like this video, subscribe for more WoW coverage, catch me live, and I'll catch you later. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.
Nice video. Overall, the Prey system, yeah, it looks like it's going to be another thing for solo players to do. The delvers out there, the Gregs of accounting, get out, from your basements and your delves and your caves and actually do things. Delvers are getting an outdoor delve, by the way, too, in this expansion. So yeah, they're trying to pull them out from underground. Seems like some fun content, maybe to dabble in, try it out. Not something like I'm going to be doing constantly, unless it really does contribute to the vault in a meaningful way, like heroic gear. That's worth it. So we'll see how it ends up working on that end. But overall here, a nice video from So Breezy.